Tariffs be inclusive of Canadian crude?
I'm probably going to reduce the tariff a little bit on that. We think we're going to bring it down to 10% on the oil.
U.S. President Donald Trump shedding some light on his plans for tariffs on Canadian exports. Trump didn't offer specifics on the plan, but did add there will probably be tariffs on steel, aluminum, and copper. What he did confirm, though, was they will kick in tomorrow. That's when the public will be able to see the full details. The federal government says it will wait until it sees the full plan before issuing a more comprehensive response. Taking a closer look at the impact of Trump's tariffs might have on businesses, we're joined right now by Brock Coutts. He's the owner of Patent 5 Distillery. He's joining us from Winnipeg, and thanks so much for taking the time, Brock. We're expecting the United States to impose that 25% tariff on us tomorrow. How concerned are you about the impacts this might have on your business specifically?
The impact, I think there's two sides to it. I think there might be some positives if it actually spawns some interest or further discussion in terms of removing some of the interprovincial barriers. That might be a positive thing. But on the other hand, we've been working for over a year to sell our spirits into the U.S. and I was led to believe today that we're just a few days away from having a purchase order issued that in all likelihood will not be able to if there's a 25% tariff added onto our spirits.
Wow. How much do you stand to lose, you think, because of these tariffs?
Well, we forecast if we received it in January, and it will be early February, that the impact to us is probably about $250,000 in revenue, which for a fairly small distillery is definitely significant.
So, we're wondering, why can't I buy some Patent 5 products in Ontario, or is it just easier for me to get bourbon from Kentucky than getting your products here? Now, your business, it faces interprovincial barriers. Does that prevent you then from expanding into other provinces?
I suppose it doesn't prevent us from expanding, but you really have to have scale to expand into some provinces. We're what's called a craft distillery. Craft is usually a designation based on size.
Yes.
And in most provinces, there is a reduced markup at the liquor stores for craft distillers, but those markups are only applied for distillers that operate within each province.
Okay.
So if I try to sell into Saskatchewan, Alberta, I'm treated as if I was a multinational distillery.
And you want to see that change, because if you do see these tariffs, are you hoping that the Canadian market will open up wider for you?
Absolutely. I mean, it would only make sense for us to sell in neighboring provinces rather than going to the U.S. But like I said, we can't be cost competitive in most of the Canadian provinces. But because of the exchange rate and the much lower excise duty in the U.S., strangely enough, our product is more competitive in the U.S.
How will your business benefit, though, if consumers are encouraged to buy local homegrown products instead of alcohol from the U.S. in light of these tariffs?
It would be fantastic. We got our start about a year before COVID, which was interesting timing because there was a real focus of buying local during COVID because people were trying to support local businesses and keep them afloat so that they would still be there when the pandemic passed.
What do you see happening to your business if these tariffs aren't lifted? You're going to have to just change the way you do things?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose that's one of the advantages of being craft and being smaller is we're adaptable.
Yeah, you're more nimble.
Yeah, we're nimble. If I haven't heard Manitoba, but I know Ontario and BC have said that they'll stop stocking U.S. products. If they do that, there's going to be a lot less products on the shelves for people to choose from, and maybe people will discover a local product that they didn't know existed before.
Well, there you go. If I'm ever in Winnipeg, I'm going to be looking out for Patent 5. That's Brock Coutts, owner of Patent 5 Distillery, and he joined us from Winnipeg tonight. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it, Brock.
Thank you very much. Have a good evening.